think Jackson should take Olave's spot? Nah, I don't think so. There's certainly a case for Smith and Jigba being the number 2 wideout, maybe over Garrett Wilson. There might be something to be said there, but again, you have 3 quality wide receivers that could all be number 1 receivers for any team in the country. There's no excuse why Ohio State shouldn't be obliterating some of these defenses, maybe with their receivers. With how talented they are. That's for sure. So OSU progressing, regressing, or remaining stagnant? Good vocab there. I like the vocab. Take the win and get out of there. Yeah, I see that too. Get out of there. Yeah, take an ugly win any day over an ugly L. Yeah, you want to win, you don't want to lose, as John Madden would so eloquently put it. I think OSU is stagnant. I don't think they're regressing. I think they're stagnant. They're still winning football games. Yes, they've had 2 tough games where they came away with wins. I thought they were much better against Penn State, both offensively and defensively. But I think they're stagnant. I don't think they've done enough to regress. I don't think they've done enough to progress either. One of these days, I'll go to a game in Lincoln. Yeah, Lincoln would be a fun place to go to. Yeah, in terms of Big Ten, I've only been to the Shoe and I've been to Memorial Stadium. Those are the only places I've been to for a college football game in the Big Ten. I think those are the only places I've ever been to a college football game, period. I'd love to go to a game at like the Big House. A game in Nebraska would be fun. A game at University Park at Penn State would surely be an experience. Absolutely. Let's see, P-Berry's got a long one. How many times did we have a chance to put Nebraska away and no one wants to make a play on offense? The O-line once again looked bad, but as Henderson hit the freshman wall, we will lose playing this way. Yeah, they might. We'll see how Purdue does against Michigan State. That might give OSU fans a clue in as to what that game could be like. Purdue comes away with a win and looks good doing it, then that game is certainly going to look a little bit closer. I think the spread might be a little bit different. Yeah, Tyreek Smith and Zach are looking real good. I think our defense has gotten better, but our offense is definitely stagnant. I think that's right, Ryan. I would agree with that. Great on the stagnation. Have they added any new wrinkles to their offense recently? I mean, the red zone is basically the big thing. The fact that the red zone offense has regressed. I think that is a fair statement to say. I also would like maybe some more touches for different running backs. Travion Henderson's a great player for sure, but I think we need to give Master Teague and Mayan Williams some opportunities. Yeah. Yeah, no, literally, if Noah Ruggles isn't perfect on his 4 field goals, OSU loses this game. You could say that. That is a true statement. And yeah, won the game. Every fan's different. Every person's different. Some people just want to take the win, and you know what? Take the win. Other people want to dissect the win and find the flaws in it. Whatever works for you. Float by your own boat. That's what I say. Well, Minnesota's not rowing the boat today because Illinois beat Minnesota. Who would have saw that coming? You've been to the Shoe but never got a chance to go for a game? Yeah, I went to 2 OSU games as a fan, and then I have been in the press box at the Horseshoe when I was in college covering Illinois. Because I'm from Columbus. I came home for Thanksgiving break. OSU was hosting Illinois right before Thanksgiving, so I covered that game. OSU won 52-14 in the rain, but that was a fun experience being in the press box in the Horseshoe. It is massive. We have to get some semblance of a running game or we will lose at least one more. Yeah, I think more consistency in the running game or just having a little bit of variation because Travion Henderson seemingly can't really do everything. Only OSU game I've ever seen was against Northwestern decades ago. It was a fun time. Northwestern would be cool. I think youth cohesion and motivation are also issues. Yeah, no, you definitely need chemistry. There is something to be said about a team having chemistry. I don't know why I can't show any freaking chats anymore. There we go. My thing was frozen. Yeah, I think there's something to be said about cohesion and chemistry. I think that makes a team better. I think that's the case with really any sport. You need to be on the same page. And yeah, maybe motivation. That's the thing. Motivation is tough. It's hard to quantify and it's hard to determine motivation when you're not in the locker room. Folks, you didn't get off the bus, they lose the game. Yeah, penalties is not good. See, penalties is something that you can be like, yeah, that needs to be fixed. You need to be more disciplined. All right, North Carolina beat Wake Forest. Wake Forest is done. They lose. Okay, Francisco thinks OSU is going to lose to the Wolverines or the Spartans. Very possible. I think it's definitely something there. Both Michigan's teams' defenses are average. I haven't been to the shoe since Chris Spielman played. Wow. Yeah, I went to the shoe. I went to a Penn State game there and a Rutgers game there. Those are the 2 games I've been to, and they were both in like the mid-2010s. CJ has to, okay, you mean CJ, obviously, has to learn to run instead of throwing INT. So there's a lot to learn. Stop at the INT. You must get tougher. Yeah, better decision-making on some of those deeper throws. When he's under pressure and there's no open man, sometimes you just got to take the L and just be like, all right, let me just throw the ball out of bounds or let me just take the sack. You know, the one quarterback that comes to mind you think of who would never let a play be given up on is Brett Favre. Brett Favre would never just take a sack or throw the ball out of bounds. If he had an opportunity to extend a play, there you go. Yeah, you know what? I agree that there's a good thing to having struggle games. You learn a little bit more about the team. You develop more adversity, make yourself tougher for bigger games ahead, for sure. Because, you see teams all the time cakewalk through a season and then they play somebody who's really, really good and then they get absolutely obliterated. Early 80s visit to the shoe. Wow. This game could have been a little bit of a letdown game. Penn State is like a rival and think there was some hangover effect going on. Potentially, yeah. You could have had some hangover from the game, maybe a lack of focus. We saw more penalties. That's true.